Today we are going to look at some more maps. So on the list of maps for today, we are going to look at maps such as what is every state's least favorite state. We're going to look at what is each state's main importer, so what country imports the most items into your state, and what does it take to be in the top 1% of your state when it comes to income. Plus, I've thrown a couple others in there. So let's dive in. So the first map we're going to look at is every state's least favorite state. So as you can see, each state has a different color, and each color corresponds to a state down in the bottom. So let's see what we've got. So dark blue here, it shows that 8 states hate the state of California. We've got 4 states who hate the state of Texas. A lot of states just don't like the states around them, like North Dakota doesn't like South Dakota. South Dakota doesn't like North Dakota. Virginia hates West Virginia. I wonder why. West Virginia and Maryland hate Virginia. North Carolina hates South Carolina. South Carolina, if I'm looking right, hates Ohio. Ohio hates Michigan. Michigan also hates Ohio. Pennsylvania and New York hate New Jersey. New Jersey hates everyone. So as you can see, these are things that, like they say, the states hate. It says Florida hates Florida, and it's even saying Florida hates itself. That these states hate Alabama. So what state does your state hate, and do you agree with it? All right, now we're looking at the corporate states of America. So this is like the biggest company in each state. Some of them are going to be nationally known. Some of them are not going to be nationally known. So, of course, you have like California is Apple. Texas is Dr. Pepper. You've got Walmart in Arkansas. You've got Cabela's in Nebraska. Starbucks in Washington. Nike in Oregon. Wendy's in Ohio. GM in Michigan. Verizon in New York. Georgia's Coca-Cola. But then you're going to have some like regional ones, like everybody knows Tabasco sauce, but it is Louisiana. Like Cars in Alaska. I don't know what Cars is. Great Harvest Bread Company in Montana. Never heard of them. I've heard of most of these. St. Clair's. I've seen a St. Clair's when I've been out west. But that's based out of Utah. For West Virginia, it's Geno's. So Geno's is a pizza place. I actually have a Geno's like right down the road from me. Like I could probably walk there in 5 minutes. That is our pizza place. It could also, for our area, be Tudor's Biscuit World. Great biscuits, by the way. You have Denny's in South Carolina. Some of these up here like Gillette in Massachusetts. You got Ben and Jerry's and Timberland and LL Bean up here in the north. So every state is going to have their own big corporate. So what is the business in your state? All right, now we're going to look at companies in the $1 trillion club. So these are 4 companies that are worth, their market capital is over $1 trillion. So you have Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, and Alphabet. And I will say I am not very well versed on Alphabet and what Alphabet is, but I do know the other 3 very well. So as you can see, Apple's at 1.4 trillion, Microsoft 1.28 trillion, Amazon 0.93 trillion, and Alphabet 1.02 trillion. The CEOs, it shows the CEOs of each one. It shows how many employees they have. So looks like Amazon has the most, like they have more than the other 3 combined and almost doubled. Amazon has the most employees, and then it would be Microsoft, Alphabet, then Apple. Revenue, Apple brings in the most revenue, and then Amazon, Alphabet, then Microsoft. Profit is showing Apple has the biggest profit, then Alphabet, then Microsoft, then Amazon has the smallest profit. And then profit per employee, so how much they make per employee. Apple is the most, then Alphabet, then Microsoft, then Amazon. So some of these are really interesting, like Apple has less employees but makes the most money and has the most profit per employee. Amazon has the most employees, but makes less profit than Apple, less revenue than Apple, the least profit, and the least amount per employee. So some of these are really interesting to look at, like how it's all broken down. I'm not surprised that these are trillion-dollar companies just because of how much work they do and how much product they make and how many employees they have. So these are the trillion-dollar companies. So the next one is, what is each state's main import partner? And this is in 2020. So where, like if a state is importing something from another country, where is it coming from? All right, so Canada is what comes into most of the states. As you can see, Canada is all up here on the border coming in. You've got Oklahoma here. You're going to have Canada up into like Ohio and West Virginia, up here up north. Then you have China. China is going to be the second one on the list. You've got China here on the west coast. Some of these states sprinkled through. You're going to have it here in some of the south and then up through here. You will see that New York is showing Switzerland. You're going to see that North Carolina and South Carolina are showing Germany. Louisiana is Russia. Alaska is South Korea. Hawaii's Japan. Puerto Rico is Ireland. The Virgin Islands looks like it is Portugal. And then up here, you're going to have also like Texas, Arizona, Utah, Michigan, Kentucky are going to be Mexico. So, oh, and Alabama. So what country is your state's main importer? All right, this is just a fun one. Take me just no time to go over it. Garbage can or trash can? Where you live, what do we say? So like if I'm taking out the garbage, I say I'm taking out the trash. Like I'm going to take the trash out. Can you go put the trash cans by the road? So where you live, is it trash can or is it garbage can? And then we're going to look at the income that is needed to be part of the top 1% in your state. So I'm going to zoom in here. Okay, so let's look. So the national median household income is $75,000. And you can see that right here. The national median household income, earnings $75,000, would need to make 9 times more to meet the national minimum for a 1%er in the country. All right, so the lowest state to be part of the 1% is West Virginia at $368,000. So if you want to be in the top 1% of West Virginia, $368,000. The highest is Connecticut at $953,000. So that is about $570,000 difference between West Virginia and Connecticut to be in your top 1%. So some of the other lower states when we look at it are Mississippi, $328,000, New Mexico, $411,000, Kentucky's at $445,000. So if you want to be in the top 1% in those states, you don't have to make as much money. The higher states, you're going to have like Massachusetts, $903,000, California, $844,000, Washington, $805,000, to be in the top 1% in those states. So what is your state? What is the number to be in the top 1% in your state? I live in West Virginia, and I can assure you I am definitely not even close to being in the top 1% of my state. So what's the top 1% in your state? So if you enjoyed today's video, please like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know below. Was there a map that surprised you? Did you learn something? Maybe something you didn't know yet? Let me know.